we might have a problem. I think I'm over my head in hay work and spray work. So as you heard in the intro, we're going to be able to get to spring this episode. I've been working on getting the tender trailer filled up with liquid fertilizer to be able to get a head start on the day, as I was able to score a contract with one of my neighbors, Walter, who owns a couple of grass pastures in my area, and I was able to convince him to get a contract for some custom cutting, windrowing, and baling for him. And if I'm able to do a good job on that, I might be able to score some larger fields. As I talked to Walter earlier today, and I told him I'd get to work on cutting one of his fields today, possibly windrowing, and then in the coming days, if I'm able to score some more contracts, I'll be doing much more work for him. As you can see, I got the 8320R out hooked up to a sprayer. I haven't decided which field we're going to get spraying yet. I'm gonna take a look at the map and then catch back up with you guys. As you can see on my iPad, we have currently two fields in corn, field 22 and 40, and we're going to apply some liquid fertilizer to try to get the nitrogen levels up, as at the moment they are pretty low, in the 0%. So we're going to work on getting those levels up. I believe I'm going to start with field 40 today, and then possibly get to field 22, but I do want to get a head start on mowing since I have a contract for that today. We'll be mowing field 36, that's right down the road, and then if we do a good job on that, we might be able to score larger fields as in like 20 and his other fields that are around the county. So for the time being, I'm going to bring my tender trailer just down to the field. Since it's right down the road, I feel okay to just drop it there for a quick second and then walk back, as we have one of our farm entrances right here, and our field is just right down the road. Later on in this episode, we'll probably get to cutting, possibly windrowing this field, as when we're done all that and we're gonna start baling them, he's asked us to put them all in his bale storage under that hoop building. A positive side to this contract is that it's right down the road, so it doesn't take too much fuel to get back and forth from the field with multiple different tractors and equipment. As we get into our spraying track today, I'm bringing the sprayer down empty, as I don't really like filling it up at the farm then taking out on the roadways and possibly risking if people aren't paying attention and then causing accidents with me, that's spilling everywhere. I just find it safer to bring it in the tender trailer and then fill up directly at the field. I do really hope that we're able to score some more contracts with Walter. As you can see, our bank account isn't too happy after yesterday's episode. The fertilizer bill caused quite a bit of damage to our bank account. Alright, I just got the sprayer all filled up. I think I have about 2 more tanks left in the tender trailer. Going to have to go fill it up soon, but I should be good for a while before that. Going to get it all unfolded out. And as you can see in the bottom left, we're bringing up those nitrogen levels quite a bit. That should help our yield a lot, actually. The one downside to the sprayer is that it doesn't have spot spray, and I believe it wouldn't be compatible either way with our liquid fertilizer application, so that wouldn't really work. I do believe I saw one for sale at the John Deere dealership. We might take a look at that in the coming months if it's still there, but if I remember, it was a bit out of our price range. I am seeing that we are applying quite a bit of liquid fertilizer. Our tank level is going down quite a bit. We're already down to 75% with just 2 passes done already. I do see that it's getting a bit cloudy. I didn't see that in the forecast, but hopefully there shouldn't be any rain. I think the last time I checked, it was supposed to be a bit of rain starting, next week possibly. Hopefully that gives us enough time to get Walter's fields all cut down, windrowed and baled. Hopefully it should. I think we might have enough liquid fertilizer in this one tank to complete this field, but we'll see. If you guys would like me to incorporate the dealership more into these roleplay videos, let me know. Also, as I empty out the liquid fertilizer pallets that I received about a couple days ago, I do put them outside against my heated shop shed just to clear up some more room, as I don't have the biggest shed. I might have jinxed myself. I don't think we're going to have enough to finish this field, definitely not. Hopefully at least this pass, but we'll see. We'll definitely fill up after this pass either way. Come on, make it. I was almost to the end. As I'm refilling the sprayer in the back, I did check the weather app quickly. It was supposed to get a bit more cloudy than this, not much more, and then it'll clear up in the coming hours. No rain in the forecast. There we go. And now we're going to finish this small pass. We were almost to the end. Can't believe I ran out literally at the end of the pass. I am taking a look as I'm applying. It's bringing all the levels up. Quite happy with the application rate. And then afterwards we're going to head up to field 22. It's quite a larger field. About 125 anchors, yeah. And this one is about 18 anchors. So quite a bit larger. The crop rotation for next year is going to be a bit odd, I think, since I had quite a bit more soybeans this year, but we'll see if we decide as well to buy some more land, if we have room for that in the budget. Alright, just starting on the headlands now, should be done with the field in a couple minutes. And then I'm going to top off the sprayer, and then probably get in the truck, head back to the farm, top off the tender since I believe I'm running low a bit on the liquid tender. I'm missing tiny bits of corners when I curve around the corner. That shouldn't affect my yield too much. I'm getting a bit of overlap on these headlands, but shouldn't be too much, hopefully. I think one pass on each field will be more than enough for this year's application. From what I saw, one pass on each field should be more than enough for this year's applications. And I should be about done. We'll get folded up and start heading to the next field. I still didn't fill up the tractor. I still didn't. I can't. Oh my! I can't believe I didn't fill up the tractor yet. It's been. I've been telling myself I'm gonna do that for like a week more. Once I get to the farm to fill up the tender tractor, I'm filling up the tractor. I'm filling up the tractor because I can't forget again. I can't believe I keep forgetting. When I checked online at the dealership's website, I think I did see that they had a Vermeer mower coming in, a used one. I might be looking to possibly purchase that in the future. Have to take a look at their pricing. But I wasn't sure what model it was, so it might be a gigantic one, it might be a teeny tiny one, we'll see. And now we'll hop into the skid steer and start getting loaded up. And the one, and the two. Alright, we have 6,000 liters back in the tender trailer. Alright, arriving back at the field. Going to make sure to not stop on the train tracks, that would not be fun. And we'll hop back into the tractor, get the sprayer filled up, and then we'll get back to spraying. Alright, we should be getting loaded up. And we'll set the hose back down. We'll make sure to not be too close to the truck as we unfold, won't want to hit it. We will get our GPS lines set up and configured. And we're ready to go. I am seeing quite a bit of weeds, so soon I'll head back here with some herbicide. I believe if I thought correctly, the last field we just sprayed, field 40, didn't have too many weeds in it, so we might have one less field to do this year. What I am finding funny in the bottom left is I believe we're not spraying as much liquid fertilizer as the other field. I'm assuming it's due to the different soil type, but I might be incorrect. And now we seem to be back up to the levels we had in the other field. I know later this morning, around 10:30ish, I have a doctor's appointment, so I'll have to run to that as well. I am glad to see that our corn doesn't have too much damage, as I remember yesterday evening and during the night, we had quite a bit of wind. It was odd. We didn't have any rain, but quite a bit of wind woke me up, stirred up the cattle a bit, but happy to see that the crop isn't too damaged, at least on this field. I'm a bit surprised that this tank has lasted this long. We've got about, I think, we're going to get about 3 or 4 passes done. Our level of nitrogen that we're putting down is lower because of the ground soil, so that explains it. I just finished this tank, didn't last us the full final pass. A bit annoying, but there's nothing too much we can do. I don't want to be on the actual tracks while refueling, so I'm going to turn around and back up. Alright, we're filled up again. I'm glad that this morning I was able to make myself a breakfast and I packed myself a couple snacks and a couple drinks in a cooler. So I'm going to be eating a bit of that, getting a bit hungry so I don't have to run back to the house to get food. If I'm being honest, the spraying is going a bit better than I thought. as we don't have the largest fields to do with liquid fertilizer. But I do believe that with the herbicide, for the herbicide application it is going to be worse, as we have all our fields to do except the smallest one, so that isn't really to our advantage. Alright, I put down the camera for just a moment. We've been spraying a bit more. For right now, a tank lasts me about 2 passes, but when to the other end of the field, when back. So the tank empties quite quickly. Right now, I just ran out of liquid fertilizer in the tank, so I'm gonna head back to the farm, get myself filled up. As I'm heading back to the farm, if you guys are enjoying the video, you could maybe consider liking and even possibly subscribing. That'd help me out a ton. I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. I have some big things planned for the future. And we're filling with the last pallet. From what I'm able to see, we have about one more load of liquid fertilizer for the tender that's in the pallets. A part of me has a gut feeling that it's not going to be enough for the field, but I did all my calculations, all with what the agronomer said, so we should be alright. Alright, as we're filling up again, I see that my sprayer is getting a bit dirty from the field, but it's to be expected. Heading back out to the field now, we have about 1/3 of the field done so far, I believe. So we are making some good progress. As I'm finishing my first pass, I can see my tank's about at 60%. So yeah, my tank usually only lasting 2 passes back and forth across the field. Then I have about 10% left, not enough for even 1 pass, so I go to refill it. Okay, if I'm being honest, it's getting a bit repetitive to always go back to the tender trailer to fill up after 2 passes. Hopefully we'll be done soon enough. As I'm unfolding here and setting up for another pass, I do see that I have a pretty decent sized grass strip that goes on the side of the field and at the end over there. I am wondering if I'd be able to get a couple bales out of that. To keep in mind in the coming weeks or so if I need even more extra money, as I have a feeling I'm going to need it with the coming bills. I'm trying to plan out in my head how my contract baling work for Walter is going to go, and then possibly mowing and baling the grass around this field right here. So we'll see in the coming days, in the coming weeks also, how I want to plan out things. As I'm driving back to refill the sprayer, I am seeing that there's actually quite a lot of grass that I'd be able to mow, so that's definitely something that I'm going to put in my plan. My plan is to finish this pass and the second pass going back towards the liquid tender, and then I'm going to head to my doctor's appointment. I don't think it should take too long. I think I'll probably grab something to eat afterwards, and then I'll probably check back in with you guys after lunch. Alright, just done spraying for now. I'm going to back in the tractor. I'm gonna back in the tractor right here. I'll do the same with the tender trailer, and then I'm going to take my truck back to the house, maybe grab something to eat, drop off the cooler, and then head to my doctor's appointment. I'll catch up with you guys afterwards in the start of the afternoon. Alright, just back from the doctor's appointment. We did have to cut our lunch break a little short, as I'm not sure if you can see behind me at the fence line, but we had a tree fall down and damage the fence a bit. Getting closer, looks like the chain just snapped between those 2 fence posts. I'm glad it was pretty much blocking. I counted up the cattle quickly. We don't seem to be missing any. I didn't see any in the area, so we should be okay on that. But I'm going to want to get this tree out of the way pretty fast. So I'm gonna go grab my truck, grab my chainsaw, and get to work quickly. I'm not sure if I'll be able to continue spraying today, as I want to start my contract for Walter, get his hay pasture cut and maybe windrowed, but we'll see. I might let it dry first a bit. Alright, so my plan is to start by getting these smaller branches off. I think what happened, I see the tree's dead, was rotting a bit at the base, and the wind, I'm not sure if it pushed it over during the night with the strong winds or sometime this morning, but I think that's what happened. I'm gonna put the log pieces I cut up just outside the fence line, as I don't really have any other use for them. Now I had a bit of extra chain, not the same chain I used for the rest of the fence, but some extra chain in my truck. I was able to tied around the posts just to close it off for now, and I'm gonna put in order with the people who put up our fence, see if they can come out and repair it for us. Not an expense I was planning on having to do, but that's what happens sometimes. Alright, we're now gonna go park up the truck. I think we're probably done for spraying for today. I do want to get at least my contract started, so I'm going to go start mowing one of his hay pastures, and then if I have time I might continue spraying. I'll probably get to that tomorrow morning during the day. Leave the hay out to dry a couple days, as we're supposed to have pretty warm, pretty dry weather, even that we've already had some. Alright, as we start heading over to Walter's hay pasture, I am hoping that my GPS is going to work. He sent over the field data and all that, so hopefully I'll be able to get my GPS working, as it is a larger field, but we'll see when we get there. Alright, we have all the settings, everything figured out, it's going great. I'm happy that we were able to get a start on our contract. I am seeing that the grass is already quite dry, and we're supposed to have dry weather in the future, so hopefully it doesn't take too long to dry out so we can complete this contract quite fast. I am happy that the contract is moving along quite nicely, as I'm able to go 22 kilometers per hour, so I'm not at a snail's pace also. That helps a lot. You know what I just realized? I still haven't filled up the tractor. I'm almost out of fuel. I've been saying I'm going to fill up the tractor for like a week now, and I still haven't done it. I haven't. I just forget. If I run the tractor out of fuel, I have no idea what I'm going to do with myself. I heard we are making quite good progress actually. We almost have these longer passes done, and then we're gonna have the rest of that more square-like part of the field left. I'd like to say I'm close to 1/3 done of the mowing. Walter stopped by not long ago. He was actually quite happy that I'd already started cutting and all that. I talked to him, I was able to chat up a bit. He seems like a very nice guy actually. I haven't talked to him before. I've heard of him as he's a quite big cattle guy in the area, but I hadn't really met him and chatted with him. I was able to talk to him and convince him to use us for pretty much the rest of his hay for the season, as he had a bit of medical problems recently. He broke his leg. He had to get a hip replacement, I think, something like that. So he was going to be a bit out of the field for a couple months. So I was able to score pretty much the rest of his hay work for a while, since not really any other options came up for him. So that's going to be a great revenue for us in the near future. Alright, as you can see, just got some money taken out of my account. I was able to call up the company that did our fencing, and we were able to get scheduled in for, I think, later tomorrow afternoon. So they'll be coming out, they'll be repairing the fence, they have all the equipment, and luckily they don't have to like take down an entire section of fence to repair it. They're going to put in some new chains. I don't think they're going to put in some new posts, but they said it was pretty easy to replace, so I'm thankful that it isn't too complicated, even though it's a bit more money than I wished. I could have went to the herbicide bill and other things. I had to pay it. Alright, unfortunately I do believe that's all the time we have for you today. We were able to get, I believe, half of the contract field done. We have that small rectangle over there, and then I believe we'll get to work on this large hay field just across this tree line, and then I believe he has another smaller field down the road. I am happy that we were able to get the spraying done. We had one field done and half of another one, so I'm happy. I feel like we were able to complete multiple tasks today. Anyway, I really hope you guys are enjoying the series, and let me know if you guys would enjoy some streams on here, since I do believe we have a lot of spraying and haying work to do in the coming episodes. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.